Welcome to the version 7.4 release notes video review. In this release, we've got some AI implementation coming to the platform. So this is looking really cool. So firstly, we have the AgentOne design parser and also the AgentOne implementer. There's more information about these on the WebinOne website. They have a AgentOne page specifically for all this. There's some videos you can watch to see how that works. So I won't dive into like a demo in this release notes video, but in your portal, there's an AgentOne tab now where you can start using these features. So just if you haven't looked at these before, the design parser will take your Figma design. I believe you have to be using a certain Figma framework for this. I'm not quite sure on that, but or maybe it just works better with a particular framework. And then it will turn that Figma design into HTML, CSS, JavaScript code. So that's the first step of the design parser. And then the implementer can take HTML, CSS, and JavaScript code and implement that into a WebinOne site. So creating the menus and the modules and things like that, splitting out into the layouts and all the different things you would normally do manually. Now the AI can get that started for you. So if you work with Figma, you can go from the design phase all the way through to implementation. Or if you're coding or have a template with the HTML files, you can go straight to the implementer and plug it in that way. So obviously these are just in the early stages of development, and AI being AI, it's going to probably be mixed results, but definitely have a play with it, see what happens, and give the team their feedback so that they can tweak and iterate on this and make it better. So yeah, they're definitely after some feedback on this to see, because everyone's use case and workflows are different. So if you're experiencing problems with the way that you're putting together files, maybe that can really help the AI learn from that and make a better implementer or design parser. So definitely pass on your feedback for those ones. Okay, next down the list is what I've been waiting for a long time, is webp support for the ImageProcessor plugin. So I'm sure you're familiar with the ImageProcessor built into WebinOne. We've pretty much had that from the start, where you can resize images down to fixed dimensions or even apply styling and compression, all that via URL parameters on that image path. Previously, these didn't work with webp, or we couldn't convert an image into webp format for better compression. Now it supports webp, so we can start changing particularly files that are uploaded to the server either via the client or via the front end from the web users. If they're uploading really large JPEGs or TIFF files or something, we can strip those down to size and convert them to webp on the fly and just make the websites a lot more optimized. So that's a huge benefit now, having that in the image processor. And you just use it basically the same as you would any other image format. It just now supports WebP, so that's fine. Next, we have the new system order statuses. So if you're running a e-commerce site, now have a few more order statuses that you can use. So normally under the status menu, we have a bunch that you can use for setting where the order is at in whatever workflow that you're creating. So we have a few more at the bottom here. So a return request, partially refunded and refunded. And this is good that we're getting new built-in ones, because extra statuses or custom statuses are an add-on or part of higher plans. So the more we can get that are built in, the less likely you're going to need to jump to a higher plan or add on any extras. So that's a good thing. Okay, next we have the option to index custom fields. So this is a great one too. So in custom modules, we can now set the custom property. So if I'm looking at, say, this team custom module, let's say I want their title or position on the team to be searchable. So via the site search, or just a general site search on the front end, we want people to be able to search a title and come up with a result for the team members that have that title. So now when you're creating new properties or editing a property, you can enable them for site search. Whatever value is being stored in those properties will basically act like a keyword for that item and will be indexable in the site search. Now, I imagine after you've set this, probably going to take maybe 24 hours for it to get indexed, so it may not work straight away on the website. So just keep that in mind. Maybe just give it 24 hours to index and should be good. Okay, and moving down, we have a whole bunch of new API endpoints that opened up. So not all of these are documented just yet, but if you just go to your site, whether it's a trial site or a live site, and go to the Swagger documentation page, so just /Swagger, as long as you're logged into the admin of that site, you'll get the sort of the playground or documentation for all the current APIs. So go to the admin version 2 and all the APIs will be listed. So we can see you've got things like the URL rewrite and gives you all the details to that API endpoint. But these will also come into the documentation shortly as well. And lastly, just a handful of bug fixes. So have a read through those if they're of interest to you. Other than that, enjoy the new features and particularly those AI features, and make sure you give your feedback to the team so they can improve on those. Okay, thank you.